Inhale up. Exhale, press the arms down. And inhale up, bending the knees to lift through the spine. Exhale, press down. Think about getting taller, drawing the baby in and up. Inhale. Now exhale, lift up over the baby and roll all the way down. Hang. Bend the knees and press right back up. Your heels are together, your toes are apart. You're in a first position. Inhale to bend. Exhale, pull on the last one. Stack the spine. Head, neck, and shoulders. Come up last. Maybe I should put my hair up. Here we go again. Inhale it up. Exhale to roll all the way down. This time we're going to walk out our hands, drop down to the knees, and come into all fours. Exhale to round, and inhale to arch. And exhale to round, scooping through the belly, and lengthening through the spine, keeping the abs engaged gently, hugging the baby so you don't overarch through the lower back, but you keep the extension through the upper back and the heart. Notice the neck stays in perfect alignment. You're not arching or cutting off the circulation through your upper neck bones, your cervical spine. You're staying connected. Find that neutral when you're ready. Extend one arm, one leg, and come back down. And the other side. The goal is to keep your body stable as you alternate. 4 more. Keep engaging the core so again the lower back stays long. Your armpits stay active, lifting out of your shoulders. And 1 more each. Hold it here. Hands come flat, elbows hug together. Push up, down, and lift. Lean in towards the shoulders, but keep your upper back lifted. Coming up, go ahead and gently press back. Come into all fours, and exhale, simply round back. 2 more. One more, hold. From here, gently start to stack the spine up, bone by bone. Roll the shoulders back. Come into that kneeling position, and I'll face this way so you can see. Inhale up like we did before, but this time, come up to go over. And exhale to center. Lift up and lean over. And come back to center. Between 2 panes of glass, and you're gonna actually have a little bit more space between your inner thighs. Think about hugging them together without actually moving to activate through the pelvic floor. And again, just giving the baby more support. Inhale up. Exhale, lift up to go over. And back to center. Lift up and over. Make sure the arms frame the face. You stay within those 2 panes of glass, so there's no real rotation here. It's simply lateral flexion. And come back to center. Open nice and wide. Now let's do that again, but through an ulnar nerve stretch. So inhale it up. Make a prayer. Open the prayer. And stretch through your fingertips to lengthen. You should feel that stretch all the way into your pinky fingers. Now inhale right back up. Opening up the hands, bring it down to that prayer. Hold, keeping the hips stable. You can even sit on the heels to give you a little bit more stability through the pelvis. Twist gently, because you're pregnant, and come back to center. It's not a big twist, but when you go to reach for that seatbelt in your car, you have to twist. So learning how to do functional movement is really important. Lengthening on the inhale to twist. Exhale pulling yourself back to center. Inhale, 2, 3. Exhale to center. Lift up. Try it here. Keep pushing those hands together, hugging into the inner thighs to give you that stability through the pelvic floor. And we'll twist. 1, 2, get taller, and exhale back to center. 1, 2, lift on that last one. Notice it's not from here. It's the lift from those inner thighs. And exhale to center. Keeping the pelvis stable and straight. And this is good for anybody with any sort of movement issues. You don't just have to be pregnant. We'll do that ulnar nerve stretch again to finish. Awesome. Now from here, open up the arms, hold. Keep in mind, I just had the whooping cough vaccine, so my arm is very tender. So we'll see how long this works. But we're gonna press back gently. Now notice as I press those arms back, I'm firing my upper arm muscles, and I'm actually not going beyond my body. I'm keeping my hands slightly in front. Make sure the neck stays straight, which is why I was looking at you before, but I did want you to see that I'm really keeping this movement quite small. And it's really just a little pulse, and it starts to burn quickly. When you're ready, hold the arms out-ish. Remember, they are slightly in front, and we circle, pause, around and pause. The elbows are soft, so if you're somebody like me that hyperextends in those arms, you can tell when I'm sideways, I do have that soft elbow. Reverse, 8. And you can do a lot more than 8, but again, I'm just happy to be doing something right now, given the way my left arm feels after that horrible shot. And again, great for anybody with any sort of movement issues. If kneeling doesn't feel good, do this standing. Just think of keeping your heels hugging together. That way your knees don't lock. If I had the space in my house, I would show you, but I don't think you can see my entire body while I'm standing. So this is a better image. Plus it gives me a little bit more support being on my knees. You can always be on pillows. Pillows are wonderful to absorb the impact on your joints. And 1. Now you can also do this sitting in a chair. We're gonna flip, flop, like you're drawing a figure 8 with your hands. Now notice the rotation isn't coming from my hands, but the force is coming from my upper arms. This is all about core. I'm not here. I'm engaged in the glutes, and I'm keeping that baby. I'm giving her a very soft hug right through my core. Well, I'm engaged, but I'm not squeezing. I'm gently hugging the baby. Keeping the palms up, we continue to circle around and pause. 6. Use your breath, your exhale to finish each circle and focus on getting taller. Keeping the neck in alignment with the spine, the abs connected, the inner thighs connected. Even though they're not touching, they're hugging together. And we reverse. 9, 8. The breath is the secret to Pilates. That's what gets your heart rate going. That's what increases the space in your lungs. And that's what's going to boost that immune system of yours, which, as we all know, is very important right now. You can even hear me breathing. There's a lot of schools of thought. I like the inhale through the nose, the exhale through the mouth. Peak Pilates tends to teach more natural breathing through the nose and out the nose. You do what makes you connect the most. And really, it's all about you and your body individually. Now hold, exhale, overhead press. As the arms go up, think about letting the shoulders drop down. So it's not here, but the shoulders draw down as the arms come up, hugging into these armpit muscles. Exhale, lift and hug. Almost like you're squeezing the moon, hugging from your armpits, from your abdominals, from your inner thighs. 1 more. Hold. This time we're going to come up like we started. Come over. Stay between those panes of glass. Keeping equal distance between your ears. Let the bottom arm drop and scoop it up, reaching out to lift. Let it drop and scoop. Try to stretch over even more, but again, keeping your hip and your armpit in line. So you're not jutting out to the side. You're maintaining that lift from your core, from your strong base. You want the stretch more here. And 2 more. Lift and press. I like to flip my palm as I press down. You don't have to. Just do what feels good for your body and move. Lift up. Get taller. Keep that connection. Come over to the other side. Now this side is a little harder for me to feel. I have some hip issues, so I really have to make sure I'm in alignment. You can do your hand and use that to self-tactile. So ribs together, lifting up, keeping that hip stable, keeping that gentle lift of the baby. And when you're ready, you'll challenge that connection with the arm movement. Believe it or not, that does target the abdominals and the obliques while stretching. Remember, breathe. Any way that feels natural. I'm inhaling to press down to lengthen, exhaling to scoop it up. But if that doesn't feel good for your body, do what does. This is all about you. We all move differently. We need to work with how we move. And 1 more. Hold it up there. Come all the way. Lift, reach as far back as feels good. And exhale, center. Now that upper back extension is extremely important. Notice I'm engaging in my glutes as I do it. And I'm lifting through my upper back and back to neutral. My neck is staying in alignment. You want to think of your spine coming up through here. You lift up, you lengthen. And then I exhale back to neutral. Inhale, from here, I lift my spine, creating even more space between each vertebra, not the shoulders. See how easily those want to go up? And then come back down. 2 more. Exhale. 1 more. Now, if it feels okay, you can add a little thoracic rotation. Open. Reach it back. Try to get those arms 180 degrees from each other. Keep your glutes engaged. Keep that low back long. And then exhale right back up to center. Other side. And exhale right back up to center. 2 more. Pulling the stomach in, engaging your butt, engaging your inner thighs. And exhale to center last time. And exhale. And we'll roll down, keeping our hips connected as much over our knees as we can. Bring the hands to the mat in all 4s. Lift just your right foot up to wag the tail. Let the foot go to the side and then the other side. And you can let your hips move gently. This is a wonderful stretch on the hips and the lower back. You can add the head turning towards the foot, looking over your shoulders. Again, keep it relatively small and just maintain that connection through the abdominals, especially if you are pregnant. And drop that foot. We'll do the other side. Start with just the foot, pivoting through the hip joint. You can eventually allow the hips to start to move, but not to the point where it's out of control. You're maintaining control throughout the exercise. Start to add a little bit of a head turn, looking towards your foot. It does feel good to move. Come back to center, tuck the toes, lift the hips into your downward dog as you stretch your heels towards the floor. Be careful not to collapse into the shoulders, but stay lifted. And from here, pull your stomach in to walk the feet towards the hands. Bend the knees to release any tension in that lower back. And use your exhale to stack the spine. Head, neck, and shoulders return last. Thank you. More to come. And please keep exercising. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help. And I do offer online sessions individually for people that are also not pregnant. Have a good night.